So God revealed himself in this book that's totally unique from any other book ever written. Okay? And yet this book is really hard to understand. Or it's hard for lots of people to understand. I mean, it's a big book. It was written a long time ago, and we have all kinds of translations of it now. And it's just, and God wanted to convey to us the truth, and only one truth exists about anything. But now we have over 200 different Christian denominations and churches, in the United States alone. And the reason they're different is they disagree on a lot of stuff that's said in the book. Well, if this book is the truth, and there's only one truth, where did all these churches get what they get? And which church does God go to? Well, God gave us, mankind, the freedom to act as we want to act. I mean, that moved us from animals of instinct to animals of thought, and brought us into God's image, having many of the qualities of God, not all of them, of course, but some of them. And we are the crown of his creation. And so if he wanted us to know the truth, why did he do it with this book that he knew so many people would misconstrue? Okay, this is just a guess. And it's a guess based upon understanding or thinking I understand the big picture. And we talk about the big picture in other sassies and videos and stuff. And so I won't go into that here, except that the big picture is kind of an overview of what God is doing in the world based upon what he says in Scripture. But the big picture, my big picture, is an opinion based on what I see as the evidence. So therefore, you got to kind of take it with a grain of salt until you look at the evidence for yourself and see whether or not the evidence is worthwhile. So in the meantime, we're just going to say, hey, the big picture is kind of what God is doing. And so in that big picture, do we see an answer to that question? And we do. He gave mankind the freedom to choose, the freedom to understand what's going on, and the freedom to choose God or choose not God. And so he created a level playing field. And this book talks about the level playing field. And if you want to believe Scripture, yeah, you will. But if you don't want to believe Scripture, you won't. And so your belief and your desire to believe or not believe is what governs what you're going to do. So if you want to believe Scripture, and you will. And if you don't want to believe, you won't. And God pushes and shoves a little bit and wants you to believe because he loves you. He made you. Mom and Dad had all the fun, but he did the knitting in the womb. And God made you. And he made every human being. And he loves every human being. But this life is the opportunity to choose. And so he made it a level playing field. There are plenty of reasons to believe this is his word. But there are those who don't believe that, who have their reasons to cause you not to believe that. But if you examine them enough, you discover that there's more truth to believing than there is to not believing. But God made a level playing field. And this life is about you making a choice. By the way, God has a plan for your success, and we're here to help you work it.